Hey everyone! I hope you had a great day. Today we are looking at some new r/I do work here lady stories where Karen thinks a random person is coming in the company to start the fire sprinklers. If you enjoy the video, please don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. The first story is called Contractors Work Here, Just Not For You. A year ago I was working as a helper for a fire alarm company. The company does testing and maintenance on fire alarm systems for industrial buildings, warehouses and utility complexes. Usually in an office building setting you wait till everyone goes home for the day. But some industries have multiple shifts and you have to just find the best time you can to test alarms. Our usual inspection involves setting off all devices one at a time, making sure they report properly, and inspecting sprinkler pipes to make sure they are in good shape. As a courtesy, not only for the customer but for ourselves, we silence fire alarm panels before setting things off. We do a one-time horn and strobe check to make sure those all work too, instead of having to hear them every time. After a while, we fall into a rhythm of hitting a smoke detector or pull station, wait for your partner to confirm he got the signal, reset if applicable, and moving on to the next thing. And you don't always inform those around you of what you are doing. Utilities and warehouses assume you know what you are doing and don't bother you. But office buildings have a lot of nosy people in them. I go up to the third floor of an office building, which was a halfway point for the building of 5 stories, when I casually stroll over to a pull station at the stairs and place my hands on the station. "What do you think you are doing? You will go to jail if you touch that." I was a bit taken aback by this lady in her 50s who looked like a twin to my old high school math teacher. "Oh, I'm with the fire alarm testing company. We have the horn silenced and we are just doing our annual check of the system. It will only be a minute." I reach over to pull the station when she screeches at me again. If there were words in the screech, I couldn't make them out. She moved between me and the pull station and seemed to be looking for something on me. "Where is your badge? Who let you in here?" I opened my mouth to say I worked for, but that's as far as I got. "So you don't work here? You can't just go into a strange office building and set off the alarm. That is illegal." She then called down the cubicles for someone to call security, which was not much of security. Just a guy with a company-issued flashlight and a 2-hour training video. Well, for the next few days I do work here as a contractor checking your fire alarm panels. If you like, I'll come back to this floor after hours. We worked odd shift hours to try to avoid getting in the customer company's way. "Get the site contact up here now. He'll know what's going on." Sure enough, a few minutes later, of texting my partner to let him know I'd be delayed a few minutes, my site contact comes up. And before he can even ask what was going on, the crazy office worker launched into her story. "This crazy kid came up here and was threatening to set off the sprinklers. There were none on this floor. And get the fire department here for a false call and they should call the cops." This is our fire alarm contractor. The same company checked our system last year." "That's not the guy from last year." "Oh, you mean my partner?" I pulled out my phone and pulled up a picture of my coworker, and she got this defeated look on her face as she realized she made a scene out of nothing. I still, to this day, don't know if she thought she was trying to save the company a headache or if she was just crazy. But she backed down and apologized to the site contact. I tried to keep my customer service smile on my face, but everyone could tell it was fake and only put on for her benefit. "Here, I'll show you I'm legit." I reached to the pull station and pulled the trigger down, causing her to jump in a panic. No horns went off, no strobes flashed. We disabled the horns this morning and we are in the middle of testing. We will make sure not to make noise till everyone goes home, I promise. Ever since then, I make sure to be obnoxiously obvious in what I am doing, explaining to people what I was there for, to the point of being annoying. But a few joking retellings of this interaction usually puts people at ease. As a contractor, yes, I do work here for the next few days, even if I don't work for you. What do you think about today's video? Let me know in the comment section below. The next story is called "We Are Not Trying to Hack You." So my friend and I work for a tech support company. We are a retailer for one of the most popular point-of-sale software suites in the country. We also dabble in all the hardware and peripherals that go with it. Both my friend and I are systems analysts. He specializes in databases and menus. I focus on integration, which usually comes down to making sure whatever stupid bean counting program the client uses to track their sales internally works with our equally janky software. Both of us have plenty of experience in computer science, networking and cybersecurity. So it has been a long day and we both had to stay late due to one fire or another. It is 3 in the morning and we decide the best course of action is breakfast dinner. We head to a local diner that just so happens to be one of our clients. They don't get their tech support through us, but we sell them hardware. We, being nerds and lacking basic people skills, don't notice that we are the only customers in the place. We get coffee and breakfast plus dinner. Just a couple of nerds enjoying the fruits of our labors. That is when my friend notices something. Mounted to the ceiling behind me is a wireless access point. I didn't know they had customer Wi-Fi. It turns out they don't. The only Wi-Fi available is listed as Diner 3PD. The 3PD stands for third-party delivery, meaning that it is the Wi-Fi used to make the Grubhub or DoorDash tablet work, or whatever third-party delivery company they use. The Wi-Fi is also not password protected. Quickly forgetting ourselves, my friend and I set to work. After gaining access to the Wi-Fi through my phone, I poke and prod and find out that the Wi-Fi is plugged into their switch. This means that it is behind all of their security and basically is a backdoor into their computer system. The two of us get about as animated as nerds are prone to do, and begin throwing jargon around as we analyze and prod at the store's network. We find their office computer and soon are just one password away from their internal documents. The store is horrendously unsecured. After confirming our suspicions, we discuss. And my friend says the phrase that triggers this whole situation. Okay, how would you do it? How would you rob this place? I start off on a long and elaborate plan involving a Raspberry Pi, some batteries and a woman's purse. Any person versed in cybersecurity would be laughing at the two of us by this point. However, the general manager for the diner was not well versed in cybersecurity. We had not noticed, but our waitress had gone into the kitchen to do dishes, and the GM was now our waiter. He never said anything to us, but was on top of those drink refills. My friend and I compare ideas for stealing from the place, and then go and estimate how valuable a diner like this would be to rob, in terms of credit card numbers and employee identities. All parts of this discussion is basic and silly. But the GM hears scary words like dark web, Bitcoin, blockchain and other such. So he grabs a notepad and begins to write things down. So the store GM had written down as much of our conversation as he was able to. And despite mishearing some of the jargon, he does a decent job of writing down both of our plans for robbing the diner. He then calls the store's internal IT company and tells them what we are saying. The IT guy who takes the phone call is relatively new and tells the GM to call 911. Once again, my friend and I are more concerned with our food than our surroundings. Close to 10 minutes later, two cops show up. They sit along near us, separated by a divider, and coffee just materializes silently at their table. They then just look at each other and quietly sip the magically appearing coffee. Again, my friend and I don't notice this. Finally, we finish our meals, pay and leave without being challenged. The cops suggest that real hackers would not actually openly discuss the hacking plans in the restaurant they intend to rob. They did, however, confirm that the stuff we were talking about sounded real, so we weren't some kids trying to get on the news or such. They suggest that we are from some software company or other similar entity. No real threat there. They will, however, make a report and do the basics to ensure we are not hurting anyone. So, during our discussion, we do talk about our own company by name. This is also reported to the diner's corporate IT. This in turn gets reported to our corporate office. Our corporate states that they don't know of any employees matching our description. We work in a separate building, so we don't have a lot of face-to-face interaction with our own administration. And they say that hacking or counter-hacking is not a service they provide. Now their company and ours believe that a pair of evildoers are going about masquerading as our attacks and trying to talk their way into people's offices. A meeting is set up. The next day the meeting happens, and since both myself and my friend are the senior tech analysts on duty, we are part of it. It is a conference call with the diner's corporate IT team. They explain the situation, that there may be people pretending to work for us, trying to get into our client's systems. The police have a report on the situation. There's a whole recording of the two people in question. We all sit down and the evidence plays, and we end up staring at ourselves sitting at a table across from a pair of cops, discussing how insecure the store is. Our entire side of the meeting starts laughing, and my boss explains that those two nerds are not only employees, but are sitting in on the meeting. We both announce ourselves and apologize to everyone for causing such a scene. The diner IT team is at a loss for words, and finally we hear, "So, you guys could steal from us that easily?" And that, my friends, is how we almost got arrested, but instead landed a nice contract overhauling a restaurant's chain's internal security. The last story is called "Kevin Does Not Understand Who He Wants to Talk With." This happened about 20 years ago. Equal opportunity was becoming a thing in the workplace. But in construction, things have a habit of not quite keeping pace. I had been working for a manufacturing company in construction for several years. As the only woman in the sales area, I was given the task of manning the phones as well as operating in support. Men generally would accept me putting them on hold for someone else in technical, while the guys tended to have to work harder to put them on hold. It was just one of those things, but it was logical. One day, a call came in. "Good morning. How can we help you today?" Yes, I'd like to speak to one of the guys, please. "I have a question." "That's no problem. If you let me know what you need, I'll be happy to help you out." "Oh no, that's okay. I'm happy to wait for one of the guys. Unfortunately, all the guys are busy on other calls, but I can help you now. I work in the sales section here as well. I'm looking at my coworker now, who has turned to look at me. He knows that voice." "That's fine, I'm happy to wait. I prefer to speak to one of the guys." My coworker and I are looking at each other. We know what's going to happen next. "No problem. Let me put you through." I put this gent on transfer, not breaking eye contact with my colleague. He is looking right back as he reaches out a hand and picks up the receiver. "Good morning. How can we help you today?" I can't hear the conversation, but there's silence as Kevin talks. My colleague keeps his eyes on me as he listens. Finally, he speaks. "Oh, you need to speak to the chemical specialist. Let me put you through." A smile is starting to quirk my lips. As a person who has a lifelong love of science and chemistry, I naturally fell into specializing in what chemical products we sold. Over time, I ended up being the go-to for anything to do with technical queries. My colleague is still looking at me as he transfers the call. We are together in this golden moment. I reach out and pick up the call and bring the receiver up. "Good morning. How can I help you?" There is a long silence on the line. Finally, Kevin speaks. Hello? I was being put through to your chemical specialist. This is better than the time that my bestie made me cookies and forgot to tell me they were augmented. My colleague and I are grinning like fools. Maybe the phone is augmented. That's me. After a silence, while Kevin digested this horrifying news, to his credit, he managed to successfully process that I might be able to help him. The discussion went on normally from there, and I was able to sort his problem immediately. He even said thanks before he hung up. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye bye.